But sir, you, in your own words, you said that Bengaluru is a large cosmopolitan city. Industries should be restricted first, or citizens should change their habits first?
The question is a very tricky one. Definitely for prosperity of the mankind, industry is needed. Profit is needed, but not at the cost of
Water pipeline or political pipeline? Which one is harder to fix?
water pipelines are tough. They are tough to be implemented. But political one is way harder to fix.
Welcome to Incontroversial. I'm your host, Pooja Chaudhary. Joining me today is someone who quite literally has helped build Karnataka from canals to courtrooms. But as chairman at Denta Water and Infra Solutions, he is leading and helping Bangalore face its biggest crisis, the water challenge. Please join me in welcoming Mr. C. Mruthyunjaya Swamy. Good evening, Mr. Swamy. Welcome and thank you for joining me on Incontroversial. So happy to have you on the show and to know more about your inspiring story. But before we can get to anywhere on the work that Denta is doing, I'm really curious to know about your story. 33 years in public service life, having worked with the government of Karnataka and to leading Denta today. Please share a little bit more with me.
I graduated from University Visvesvaraya College of Engineering, Bangalore, a prestigious engineering college having 100 years of history, in the year 1984. As soon as I graduated, I joined Master's Engineering course in the same college and studied for 1.5 years and did my Master Engineering in pre-stressed concrete. After my post-graduation, I joined Karnataka State Road Transport Corporation as an assistant engineer. I was involved in construction of infrastructure projects in that organization. And I got an opportunity to serve in state government as probationary assistant executive. Before joining the government, I qualified as 14th rank among 8,000 candidates who appeared for the interview and entered the government service. Right from entering into service, I was involved in public construction activities. Especially, I built one big dam in Almaty, that is in Bijapur district, some 400 kilometers away from Bangalore. After that, I joined service as assistant executive engineer in rural belt of Karnataka, where water was very scarce. It had coconut plantation and rainfall was very scanty and it needed lot of water for groundwater recharging. We built a number of check dams and ensured that farmers did get adequate quantity of water. It was able to collect rainwater and that rainwater was being recharged into ground and farmers had plenty of water for watering their plantations. After that, I served in canal division of Tumkur, where again emphasis was on water. We supplied canal water to the farmers' fields and also we built lot of check dams. Right from 2008 till 2018, I worked in various infrastructure departments as a chief engineer and entered government service as secretary minor irrigation in the year 2018. It was most satisfying job for me and I was able to construct a lot number of check dam and also water retaining structures. And we also did one pioneering work of getting the secondary treated sewage water from Bangalore to be fed into the lakes and tanks which were existing long time. We converted one dry river, that is Penna river, into a ever flowing 24/7 river water. And I retired in the year 2023 with 33 years of public service.
That's fantastic, sir. And like I said, you could have retired and enjoyed the glory of the fabulous work that you've done, but yet you came back into active work life, leading as chairman at Denta. So what made you take that decision?
While in public service, I had seen the trouble people are facing, especially with regard to the availability of water. Water is very scarce and it has to be managed judiciously. And in the Denta, they were water revitalizing experts and we thought that with my expertise in public service, I will be able to handle the water recharging mechanism in a better way so as to serve the mankind and it will be beneficial to the rural population. And we thought that converting the urban waste into an economy of rural by bringing the water, recharging the ground and getting the water made available in plenty, the farmers can grow very well. They can grow fruits, flowers, vegetables. They can bring it back to Bangalore. That kind of a concept was there in Denta. So I thought I should serve better of the mankind by joining this company.
That's wonderful. Sir, I'm hearing that water revitalization is very much the buzzword. But if one was to really keep it real, can you help us understand what this actually means when you're working in areas like Kolar and Koppal, where hope is often in short supply? What does it mean to be on ground there?
Water revitalization is a very apt subject because, as I said you, water is a very scarce commodity. It falls from rainfall and also it flows in rivers and it gets stored in tanks and lakes. This water has to be used judiciously. And in Denta, they ensure that whatever rainwater falls on the ground gets optimum reutilization. Apart from that, they have involved a very good concept of getting the urban sewage water to be fed into the tanks of adjoining districts. Bengaluru is a very big cosmopolitan city which receives around 1,500 million liters of drinking water every day. 80% of the water gets converted into sewage. The sewage water was flowing waste, it was not being utilized properly. The government thought that this water can be treated and it can be treated up to secondary level and can be fed up to the fill up the tanks and lakes and further processing can be done up to tertiary level. In Denta, we thought that whatever water which is going waste from Bengaluru can be pumped, can be stored in tanks and lakes and it can recharge the groundwater and it will be beneficial to the rural workforce. And out of the 1,700 million liters of sewage water which is generated, around 1,000 million liters of sewage is being treated in Bengaluru. And Denta handles around 770 million liters of sewage water every day. It gets pumped from Bengaluru for a distance of 50 kilometers, gets filled into the tanks and lakes in adjoining district of Kolar and Chikballapur. With this water being pumped, the groundwater gets recharged. Earlier, people never used to get very good water for drinking. In fact, the situation was so worst that they have to be given water in tankers. After the advent of this scheme of recharging with secondary treated sewage water, now the water is available in plenty, water is available in good condition, and the health of the farmers has got improved, the fish rearing has improved, the cattle are being fed with water, and it has resulted in overall economic improvement of the people in and around the Bengaluru. The urban waste of Bengaluru is being converted into rural boom and the people are growing fruits, vegetables and flowers which they are bringing it back to the Bengaluru and they are selling at a very good rate and getting very good return also. So in this way, the Denta is also contributing to the social upliftment and economic improvement of the people and also improving the health condition of the rural people, which has seen all-round improvement due to this advent of the scheme. Apart from this, Denta is also into recharging of the groundwater in district of Koppal, where water is being recharged into the construction of check dam and also filling of the tanks. And also Denta is looking after rural water supply needs. They are implementing 2 or 3 projects in rural water supply and 1 project for city water supply also.
So it's very fascinating indeed, the details that you're sharing with me. But if I may ask, Bengaluru's water crisis surely did not happen overnight. Who's really to blame then, in your opinion? Is it policy? Is it planning? Is it politics?
Bengaluru is a high altitude city. It is located around 3,000 feet above the sea level. It receives water from perennial sources of rivers which are located at 70 to 100 kilometers away from Bengaluru. Bengaluru once had an historical city of lakes. We had around 240 lakes which were interconnected. Rainwater used to get collected at the lakes and it used to get absorbed and we used to get very good groundwater which was being recharged by the rainwater. Due to urbanization, almost all the lakes have got disappeared. Even if the lakes are surviving, they are receiving very contaminated water of sewage. So in this scenario, the water scarcity, not only by pumping water from rivers, but also by groundwater, was not being followed in regular format and it was not being implemented by the people of Bangalore, and they were destroying the ecosystem, which was the collection of rainwater and getting it recharged and drawing out the groundwater so that it will be for the good of the people. So in this scenario, even the adjoining districts face similar problems. In adjoining district, we have encountered the problem of water shortage, and it has been solved by recharging the same. Due to recharging, the groundwater gets very good, plenty of water, and people are very happy. The same policy has to be implemented in Bangalore. It is a policy direction which has to be remodified so that it should benefit the people of the Bangalore.
Makes imminent sense when you explain it like this, but Denta talks about infrastructure, it talks about innovation and policy working together. But in reality, do you feel that innovation sometimes gets buried under bureaucratic red tape?
Water revitalization is a very apt subject, and it has to be done by doing infrastructure work, and it has to be innovative, and it should incorporate into the policy framework of the government which is ruling the state at that particular point of time. But with right technology and smart planning and also supportive projects, definitely this water problem can be solved. And the water problem can be solved only by effective and coordinated approach among all the people, policy makers, and also people who use the water. They should use the water judiciously, and it should be for the benefit of the mankind.
So you also talked about working in Sandur and Koppal districts. How do you turn promises such as community empowerment into real actionable, tangible actions?
The places which you are mentioning, Sandur, Koppal and Gangavati, they are also rain deficit regions. They have got big rivers, but all the regions in the above places do not have access to good clean water. In this scenario, Denta is striving to give them improved water supply and also better public health and also cleaner surroundings and higher quality of life so that rural people can also enjoy good health, can have access to good education and also have good communication. In all these spheres, Denta is working overtime so that people in those villages do get quality life.
So having worked in the public sector for so long and public service for so long, when we are talking about a resource which is literally as important as life, what are your views on profit versus purpose?
Profit is needed to run a company, but profit should be the sole motive. It should match with the expectation of the people to have better access to life. People should have good quality water, they should have good health facility and improved socio-economic conditions. In all these spheres, the Denta is working and not the profit is not the only motive. We want to improve the social impact of the projects which we undertake. In this aspect, we can assess the report of a famous research institute like Indian Institute of Science, where they have identified that the living condition of the farmers in the project areas where Denta has implemented the project, it has got increased exponentially. They were able to rear fish, they were able to milk the cows, they were able to grow very good quality of fruits and flowers. All the products which were available in rural population was made available to city people. So the living condition of the people got improved exponentially with the advent of the water. And main concern is that the health condition of the people has got improved due to better water availability, which ensured that the waterborne diseases are reduced, and now incident of diarrhea and dysentery has almost disappeared in those project areas. So profit is needed, but not at the cost of rural life.
That's spoken like a true corporate with a conscience. But sir, in your own words, you said that Bengaluru is a large cosmopolitan city. In a city such as vibrant as that, which is facing such a high water scarcity issue, do you think industries should be restricted first or citizens should change their habits first?
The question is a very tricky one. Definitely for prosperity of the mankind, industry is needed. But industry should adopt a policy which should help the mankind. They should not harm the life of the mankind, and people should also change their behavior. They should use the water judiciously, and they should improve their health condition, and it should complement the industry which the city is having. Both should act coherently with both of them acting together, but industry should not spoil the environment. That should be the policy.
That's wonderful, sir. Sir, in your long and illustrious career, if I may ask you, what's that one financial or leadership lesson that hit you perhaps the hardest but taught you the most?
Lead with empathy, not with authority.
Not with authority.
Yes.
Wonderful. Truer words were not spoken.
Yes.
And so wonderful to hear that from a leader and a change maker such as you. But sir, this is incontroversial, and if I may, a quick rapid fire round with you,
Yes,
where I'd
please.
really like to ask you a few quick questions. A tech breakthrough that Denta is betting big on.
Supply of tertiary treated water.
Okay, and if you could quickly explain that a little bit.
Sewage has got three forms. Primary sewage, which comes out of our restrooms and toilets. That water can be treated up to secondary level, where some chemical impurities like fluoride, nitrate, potassium and calcium will be treated. And some impurities cannot be treated, that is COD and BOD, that is biological oxygen demand and chemical oxygen demand. Tertiary treated water is a water which we can drink. So our goal should be to economize on the wastage of the water. Water should be treated first up to secondary level, next up to tertiary level, so that people should have access to clean water 24/7.
One infrastructure trend that investors are currently overhyping, in your opinion?
Smart city.
Okay. If Denta's growth story were a movie title, sir, which one would it be?
The water company.
Oh, nice. An industry myth about water infra that you're simply tired of hearing.
They always say it is EPC. It is not one word. Real issue is often sustainability, conservation and maintaining the infrastructure.
Water pipeline or political pipeline? Which one is harder to fix?
Water pipelines are tough. They are tough to be implemented. But political one is way harder to fix.
All right then. Tea, coffee or crisis meetings? What's your poison, sir?
Actually, crisis meetings are my passion.
Okay, that's
I want
very
to
well put.
I want to solve the crisis and ensure that all the projects are put online and no delays, and it should ensure maximum coverage for the rural population.
The weirdest question that an investor or anybody has asked you?
If your pipes could talk, what would they say? I told them, they would say, stop wasting water. It's a precious commodity. I have brought it from a long distance through turns, bends and all the terrain. Don't waste it.
Wonderful. And if Denta were a superhero, which one would it be?
I can say it is Aquaman or Waterman, the new superhero.
Oh, wonderful, sir. So lovely to hear from you, and it's really been enlightening, the things that you have shared with us today. In a world that's thirsty for solutions, he's clearly showing us that the real pipeline is one of accountability, action and ambition. Signing off from Incontroversial this evening. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. Do like, share, comment. Stay bold, stay curious. But you know what? Be a little bit more conscious about that leaking tap. It's a precious, precious commodity. Thank you.